What's up, guys? Chase Kaufman here with Great Lakes Bowling News. I'm here at the PBA Wichita Classic where people are getting warmed up for the competition ahead. But for you guys, we have a 300 game to announce, some collegiate signings, as well as the results from the JV championships and more. And we also are going to get into the second rankings for Division 1 through 4 for 2022 to the 2023 season. Also, don't forget, if you're new here, please subscribe. Once we get to 500 subscribers, we're giving away a bowling ball. Let's roll.
First off, let's get to another 300 game. This one comes from Dustin Mokel of Napoleon. Back on February 3rd, Dustin delivered a perfect game against Addison for a 518 series. This is Dustin's fourth 500 series this year for a 233 average. Congrats, Dustin. Next up is a pair of collegiate signings, both from Napoleon High School. First is Logan Schneider. Logan will be attending Jackson Community College this fall. And then Sam Burgess will be attending Cleary University to continue her bowling career. Congrats to these Pirates of Napoleon, and everyone here at GLBN wishes them the best of luck. We also want to congratulate Ryan Dalton of Holly High School. Ryan had an amazing performance at the New Lothrop Singles Challenge at Colonial Lanes on February 12th. Ryan qualified 10th, but in brackets he really started to pick things up. In his head-to-head matches, he shot a 245, a 280, followed by a 299 to his opponent's 276, who also had the front nine. Then he shot a 245 in the semifinals, and in the finals he capped off his win by shooting a 279. Nice bowling, Ryan. We also want to recognize our JV champions from this season. Starting with the team event on the boys' side, the fight began once the top 16 teams entered the bracket and the top teams were there to play. Tecumseh's A team took the 1 seed and ran with it all the way to the finals. On the bottom half of the bracket, the 2 seed Dakota did the same to make it a 1 and 2 seed final. Dakota had a bowl of Wheaties before that match because they delivered a 276 and a 268 game to take home the title with a 544 series to Tecumseh's 379. For the girls, 15 teams arrived, all with a chance to take the title. Uncoincidentally, the top 2 seeds advanced all the way to the finals as well. South Lyon, the 1 seed, easily handled the competition on the way to the finals, while Oxford did the same in the bottom half before sneaking past Stevenson in the semifinals. In the finals, though, Oxford fell in Game 1 by 31 pins, but came back to take the win in Game 2 by 57 pins to win it all, 291 to 265. For the individuals, anything was possible. Nolan Boos of Armada led in qualifying, but he was knocked out in the second round. 24 seed Mason Prescorn of Armada and 5 seed Harry Hutchinson of Tecumseh met in the semifinals, where Mason kept the run going, winning 225 to 166. Carter Finzel of Dakota and Trenton Rogers of Armada met in the other semifinal, where Carter won 191 to 157. Then in the finals, Mason continued his Cinderella story, winning in an incredible match, 236 to 235. On the girls' side, Madison Caparo of Anchor Bay took the 1 seed for the first 3 games, but she fell in the quarterfinals. On the left half of the bracket, Brianja Kuzin of Dakota and Chloe Verbecki from Oxford met in the semis, where Chloe moved on to the finals, winning 133 to 116. Another Verbecki, this one being Haley of Oxford, was also in the other semifinal, facing Gabrielle Eccles of Grand Blanc. It wasn't going to be a Verbecki final though, as Eccles moved on to the finals, winning 188 to 186. There did end up being a Verbecki on top of the highest podium though, as Chloe went on to win it all, 172 to 145. Also over the weekend, a Division 4 tune-up was held at Bees Bowling in Flint, hosted by Atherton. On the boys' side, Bentley qualified first, but the final match was between Atherton and Dryden, where Atherton grabbed the win. On the girls' side, Atherton qualified first and ran the table, defeating Byron in the finals. We also want to give a shout out to the Grand Rapids West Catholic girls. They won the OK Blue Conference this season, led by Jason Kelly and David Barry. 2 girls also made the top 10 in the conference, and 2 received honorable mentions. Congratulations! If you want your conference title or any other honors recognized on this channel, feel free to email us at greatlanesbowlingnews@gmail.com. Now that we've gone through your JV champions and other results, it's time to run down the final in-season rankings and your frontrunners for the state championships for the 2023 season. Starting with Division 4 on the boys' side, last year's state runner-up Grass Lake stays in first, Jonesville stays in second, Bronson in third, Harbor Beach moves up 1 spot to 4th, Saugatuck also moves up 1 spot to 5th, New Lothrop moves down 2 spots to 6th. Elkton Pigeon Bayport moves up 1 spot, along with Bad Axe, who moves up to 8th. Burr Oak moves down 2 spots to 9th, and Montrose jumps into the rankings. And for Division 4 on the girls' side, Jonesville is the new number 1. They moved up 2 spots. Beaverton stays where they're at in 2nd. Bronson jumps up to number 3. Hanover Horton moves down to number 4. And then 5th through 10th stay the same with Bad Axe, Byron, Cass City, Ithaca, Sandusky, and New Lothrop. Now to Division 3 on the boys' side, Gladwin, last year's state champions on Division 3, stay in 1st. Hazel Park stays in 2nd. Muskegon Orchard View also stays in 3rd. Armada moves up 5 spots to number 4. Frankenmuth moves up 1 spot to number 5. Standish Sterling drops down a couple spots to number 6. And then Midland Bullet Creek, last year's state runner-up, stays in 7th. Comstock Park in 8th. Almont jumps into the rankings at number 9. And then Romulus Summit Academy does the same to jump into number 10. Now to the girls' side in Division 3. Three Rivers stays on top at number 1. Coloma stays in 2nd. Alma moves up 2 spots to number 3. South Haven moves down 1 to 4. Portland moves down 1 spot to number 5. Standish Sterling stays where they're at in 6th. Grand Rapids West Catholic moves into the rankings at number 7, while Kent City jumps up 1 spot to number 8. Shepherd up 1 spot to number 9, and 10 is Dundee, a new team in the rankings. Now in Division 2 on the boys' side, last year's state champions Grand Rapids Northview moves up 5 spots to be the number 1 team. Flint Kersley moves down a spot in 2nd. New Boston Huron jumps into the rankings at number 3. Gibraltar Carlson moves down 2 spots to number 4. St. Clair Shores Lakeshore moves down 2 spots to number 5. Tecumseh, last year's state runner-up, moves into 6th. Mace moves down a spot to number 7. Holly stays in 8th. Carleton Airport jumps into the rankings at 9, and then Bay City Western Auburn drops down to 10th. Now on to the girls in Division 2. Flint Kersley, last year's state champion, stays in the number 1 spot. South Lyon East moves up 3 spots to number 2, while Tecumseh and Bangor John Glenn Bay City both move up 1 spot. Carleton Airport moves up 4 spots to number 5. Mason moves down 4 spots to number 6. They were last year's state runner-up. New Boston Huron jumps into the rankings at 7. Allegan moves up 2 spots to number 8. Sparta moves down a spot to number 9, and Charlotte moves down 3 spots to land at number 10. Now for the Division 1 boys. Utica Eisenhower, last year's state runner-ups, moves up 2 spots to number 1. Wayne Memorial moves down a spot to number 2. Jenison jumps into the rankings at number 3. St. Clair Shores Lakeview moves up 2 spots to number 4. Davison up to number 5. Midland moves down to number 6. Oxford moves up a few spots to 7. Plymouth Canton stays at 8. Lincoln Park jumps into the rankings at 9. And Muskegon Mona Shores are at 10. And for the Division 1 girls, Plymouth Canton stays at number 1. Sterling Heights Stevenson goes up to number 2. Westland John Glenn stays at 3. Last year's state champions Macomb Dakota moves down 2 spots to number 4. Oxford and Howell stay at 5 and 6. Davison, last year's state runner-up, stays at 7th. Southfield A&T jumps into the rankings at number 8. South Lyon jumps in at 9. And Grand Haven moves down 2 spots to number 10. Thanks everybody for watching this episode of Great Lanes Bowling News. I'm Chase Kaufman. Good luck at regionals this weekend, and make sure you go out and shoot some 10 pins.